Blackline Brief starts now.
What is up, everybody? Happy Thursday. Welcome to another episode of the Blackline Brief. I'm your host, Matthew McKim, and I got a good show lined up for you guys today. Another earlier show today. We have no Candace Owens and we have no Baron Coleman, so here I am to save the day, fill the slot, and hopefully a lot of people are available and they'll be able to show up for the show. As you guys come in and get settled, please do me a favor and hit that like, hit the subscribe, pretty please. Thank you very much. It's just one of those things you got to do. I know a lot of people don't like it when podcasters have to ask that. It's just a thing, man. You know, a lot of people forget. They just forget. It's not on purpose, but, you know, there we go. Check the box. It's done. All right, you guys. So Stu Peters had to cancel. We're rescheduling for another day this week. That's why the thumbnail changed, the title changed, and the description changed. Okay. So stay tuned for whatever day me and Stu settle on, and that'll be a great show. And you want to stay tuned for that. But, you know, in this day and age with people and their jobs and their families, stuff happens. Not a big deal. We'll make it work. All right. Okay. So, but I did find things that I want to share with you. One of the things that this channel has always focused on is the pastors. Okay. It's important to me because of my faith and because of my history, even just, you know, going to Bible college and wanting to pursue that profession myself. I don't know. And then like the TPUSA faith, specifically the Calvary Chapel movement and how it's partnered with Erica Kirk and kind of, in my opinion, had infiltrated TPUSA in the years after Erica Kirk entered the scene. And that these pastors all are just Zionists that above all else want to support Israel and, in my opinion, lie about this administration and about TPUSA. They're completely not objective, and they use their platforms and their positions and in the public's perception as pastors, as trustworthy people. Like, we all can admit that there's certain figures in society that hold you know, a certain level of trust from the public. And everyone may, you know, everyone in the public may land on a different, you know, a place in that, and whether they trust or don't trust pastors. But, you know, as a general rule, pastors shouldn't lie, right? Pastors should tell the truth. They shouldn't deceive people. Pastors should be, at least they should hold themselves to a higher standard, right? Especially pastors within the United States should want to do what's best for the community in which they serve, both on a micro level, but also in the macro level, being that we're in the United States, that for Christian Americans and for America as a whole, they should want to do things that benefit Christian Americans and benefit America, well, and Americans in general. Not just Christians. They should want to, you know, say and do things that are in the best interest of Americans and America, right? And what seems to be motivating a lot of these pastors is not that, okay? It's not that at all. And that, furthermore, what seems to be their primary interest above all else, and they seem to be proud of it, is telling Christians that their biblical responsibility and duty is to support Israel, and that there's a biblical precedent and justification for that. And then they use their position as having gone to, you know, Bible college. And that's the thing. Most average Christians, average, okay, so if you are an above average Christian and you do a lot of personal study of scripture and you break down, you know, you do historical reconstructions and you know hermeneutics and, you know, you do exegesis, and these are terms within, you know, theological seminaries and Bible schools. The average don't. The average, you know, Christian reads their Bible, prays, and goes to church on a consistent basis. But when it comes to breaking down theological things, and truths, they defer to their pastor, right? And no, that shouldn't always be the case. But also it should be the case that when they do defer to their pastor should be honest, and they shouldn't have any ulterior motives as to any other angles and goals in mind of why they're pushing a certain thing. And from this personal study that I've done and spoken to many others, there is no biblical justification for Judeo-Christian values. Okay. When you take into context the New Testament, there just isn't. If you were to read the Old Testament without the New Testament, yeah, you'd come to a totally different conclusion about who God's chosen people are. But with the New Testament and the New Testament writers and their own writings and statements that they said, which we have forever since they said them and wrote them, that's not the case. So, it's a personal thing to me, and that TPUSA is involved in this as well, right? That Charlie Kirk, and it seems to be connected to why Charlie Kirk was at least experiencing a lot of pushback and pressure and conflict, losing donors, and why it looks like there may be a connection to Israel in his assassination. Okay. I haven't seen evidence that like 100%, but to me, I think the case is overwhelming with all the circumstantial evidence that we have surrounding Charlie Kirk's life from 2023, October 7th, 2023 to September 10th, 2025. That there's enough circumstantial, and everything that TPUSA has said and done after the fact, trying to whitewash Charlie Kirk's statements, public positions, beliefs, opinions on Israel, on the war in Iran, on everything, that all of that taken together. And then, Benjamin Netanyahu's statements, right? Him coming out and denying it. It looks like that there is potentially involvement or some culpability and responsibility in Charlie Kirk's assassination. It looks like that to me, right? And so that then when we have TPUSA and people from there, and then, these pastors coming out and they want to, ensure that everyone knows that above all else, Charlie supported Israel till his dying day, with his dying breath, that it's now your duty to follow in those footsteps and do the same thing. I have issues with that. I have major issues with that. And not to mention all the public statements that, like, Frank Turek, he was the only one that was there. But, then we have James Kaddis and Rob McCoy and what's his name? Jack Hibbs. And Jack Hibbs' brother was there, Butch Hibbs. All the statements that they've made regarding who they believe killed Charlie Kirk. And they don't mince words about it. It's not like they're like, we think that he did. But the court, we want to allow his presumption of innocence to stay intact. They never phrased it like that. And neither has Erica Kirk. They phrased it as a concrete, matter-of-fact certainty that Tyler Robinson is the lone gunman. He did kill Charlie Kirk from the Losi Center with a 30-06 with one bullet that never exited, right? And I have issues with that, because there's no way anyone could actually honestly make that statement with what we know right now, and what Frank Turek knows, and what Erica Kirk knows, and Andrew Colvett. They know what we know. They don't know anything else. The prosecution's not allowed to share any extra evidence with them that we haven't seen. And so for them to be 100% certain that, Charlie Kirk was assassinated by Tyler Robinson, and that he was a lone gunman, there was no larger conspiracy, he wasn't radicalized by anyone else, no one else helped him plan, prepare, execute, and, try to cover it up after the fact, that there's no foreign governments possibly involved, that our government isn't possibly involved. They have no way to say that without just being liars. To say it as a matter of fact, as a, certainty, there's no way they can do that without just being liars, in my opinion, right? And they do it as pastors, right? And they know that especially within their own congregations' eyes, they trust them because they're pastors. And, you go look through their library, their catalog of sermons. They brag about this, that they have thousands and thousands of sermons on Israel, on how we should support Israel, that it's our biblical duty to support Israel, and that's what Charlie did all of his life, all up until the day he died. And they just completely wash over the last 3 years and specifically, definitely the last 6 to 8 months of Charlie's life. That's when it got really clear that Charlie was shifting on his views on Israel, right? That the donors and others connected, to the donors and people that are Zionists and neocons were pressuring him to continue to support Israel, even though he clearly was evolving on what was his actual biblical responsibility with the people of Israel and how that's different from this, what did he say, tyrannical regime in Israel. And I'm referencing the text from Brett Weinstein that I've shared with all of you. I think twice in the last 2 days, we've read it multiple times. Clearly, Charlie began to distinguish the difference between this tyrannical, evil regime that's running Israel, right? The Likud party, Benjamin Netanyahu, and those affiliated with him, probably even, Miriam, what is her name? Oh my gosh. Miriam, what's her freaking last name? It's escaping me right now. She's the one that gave, why is it escaping me right now? She gave Trump $180 million. What's her name? Her husband died. Anyway, that there's a lot of people involved, right, that were pressuring Charlie to continue to support Israel. Adelson, thank you. Miriam Adelson, right? And that a lot of these people had connections and affiliations with Turning Point, had probably Charlie's phone number, had the ability to call him, to text him, to message him, email him, to even do it through a third party, do it through Erica, do it through James, do it through Frank Turek or Rob McCoy or Tyler Boyer or Andrew Colvett. There's 2 degrees of separation from Adelson, Miriam, Andrew Colvett. So to try to say that these things clearly aren't connected when we have people like Harrison Smith come out and say that he was told by someone directly from Charlie Kirk that he was afraid that he was going to be murdered for opposing and not supporting Israel anymore, and all of this just gets completely washed over because hey guys, we have it already figured out. Charlie Kirk was murdered for his, political positions on the furry, gay, trans leftists. A gay trans leftist furry lover murdered him and was radicalized by himself online and had no help. So, all right, sorry, I missed the live. We're live right now. What do you mean? We are live right now. You're here. This is real. This is really happening. All right. Yeah. And they paved over it. Yes. All right. Let's get into it. Here we go. Yeah. If I haven't said it already, please hit the like. Let's go.
When it came home directly in front of your eyes regarding our good friend Charlie Kirk. I mean, that was the personification of the war on reality. What can you share about that? What do you feel comfortable with sharing with our audience?
By the way, this is brand new. All right, this just came out, and he's simultaneous. So both Jack Hibbs, he's the one with the white hair. Frank Turek is the one with the tactical shooting glasses that he always wears. One's an apologist. The other is a pastor of a Calvary Chapel church in Chino Hills, California. Butch Hibbs is the one in the blue shirt. Frank Turek is the one in the black. Jack Hibbs. Butch Hibbs is his brother, and he was on the ground that day at UVU. Both of them were writing books, coincidentally, like Josh Hammer and like Graham Allen. They were all writing a book in the last year of Charlie Kirk's life. Okay. And that it just so happened to be perfect timing that when Charlie Kirk gets murdered, all of their books are ready for sale, and that they all have something to do with, you know, the situation that Americans find ourselves in the wake of Charlie Kirk's assassination. Wow. What amazing timing. These prophets and men of God saw the future and were able to start these books that were able to all weave in, the story of Charlie Kirk and his assassination, and how the crazy left and Islam are the biggest enemy facing Americans right now. And that's what Charlie's positions were up until the time he died, and he loved Israel. So that's the setting in which this video finds us today.
I mean, the level of reality that wore when you saw what took place with Charlie as you stood there.
Well, Jack, we were there because Charlie and I were working together. I was trying to help him answer questions on a college campus related to Christianity. And he considered me a mentor, but it can be difficult mentoring somebody smarter than you.
Oh, here we go.
Charlie was smarter than me.
But the only thing that exceeded his intelligence was his humility.
Although it wasn't hard with Charlie, because the only thing that exceeded his intellect was his humility. You were a mentor.
Literally, I'm going to be able to do this. I have not pre-watched this. I've not pre-watched this. It came up on my feed, and when I was notified that Stu wasn't going to make it tonight, I had to find different things that we would cover here. God placed this on my lap, and I just know Frank's script so well. So out of all of the different podcasters, my contribution to this case, because I'm not an investigator, I'm not a journalist, okay? I don't have a team working for me. I don't have a unique set of skills in analyzing financial crimes and documents and, getting FOIAs and, grandmas and things like that. But my experience as a prior Marine, as a father, as having, a bachelor's degree in theology and psychology, my contribution, and having a very good memory, and being able to read people and see unique things about their body language, their nonverbal nonverbal language, the things that they say without saying words, the cues, and then analyzing the words that they say and they choose to use. I've watched more of all of these people, not just the pastors, Andrew Colvett, Erica Kirk, all of them, going back from, even before Charlie was assassinated. And so my contribution is to be able to point out where these people are liars, in my opinion, and point it out for you. There is no reason why Frank Turek should have a literal script that he recites every time he gets on camera. There's no reason for that. I don't understand it, other than he's playing a part, and he's not a real honest individual, that he has some script that he recites every time he gets on camera regarding 9/10. And it's the same script that he recites when he goes to these campus events that he still does, arguing on the case for Christ and God. When, if evil exists, how come God exists? And now his whole, opening to those appearances, and, when he does those speaking events, is 9/10. And he just recites the same script every time. So.
To him as well, right?
So amazing.
The few things that both of us knew that he didn't know, he wanted to know. And that's what made him so effective, was because he had so many people around him who were further down the road than he was, and he could learn from them and then apply it immediately. He was so bright. But a couple of things that have come from that since then, Jack. One is, evil is real. When you see it happen in front of you, you see a very good friend of a good friend of yours murdered in front of you. You realize how.
I thought he was your son. I thought he was more than just a good friend. You said it a dozen times, if not more. He was like a son to you. That's why you leaped into action by falling on all fours, crawling around like a little baby, like a dog, running, keeping your son or son-in-law and daughter on the phone for anywhere from 2 to 8 hours because you've given conflicting stories on that. That's why you jumped in the back of the car, because he was like a son to you, right? You had said that you had made that promise to yourself that if anything ever happened, you would rise to the occasion. So you get in the car, you climb in the back, you pray, which is powerful. I don't believe that you were praying, but prayer is powerful. I believe that you're lying about what happened inside the car because you gave conflicting statements as to what actually occurred in the car. Brian Harpole contradicts you. You contradict Brian Harpole. He wouldn't even have allowed you to give CPR. He would have smacked you if you tried to push your way up onto Charlie's body. Ruin the job that he was supposedly doing and packing the wound and stopping the bleed from his neck. Based on his own training, CPR does not occur like in combat medicine like that with a gaping, neck wound, a deadly neck, a gushing neck wound. The only priority there is to stop the bleeding. His story is that no CPR took place in the car. Your story is Brian must have just started looking out the window in the last 20 to 30 seconds. Don't know that he was lying, but he just must have not seen me climb up from the back seat, push myself in front of Brian and Rick, and begin giving chest compressions and mouth to mouth. So, Frank.
Real evil is. And it's so many times here in America, we are kind of sheltered from that. But there are 50 Charlie Kirks who are murdered every day in Nigeria, and we don't even hear about it. Martyrdom happens quite a bit around the world. We don't hear about it. So the first thing that has become much more prominent since last 9/10 was evil is real. The second thing that has become real important and prominent in my mind is the importance of the gospel and eternity. Because, Jack, unless God exists and there is a resurrection, at the end of the day, it does not ultimately matter if you live like a murderer or a missionary. If you live like the alleged killer Tyler Robinson, or you live like Charlie Kirk. Why? Because if there is no God,
the alleged killer. Notice how these individuals they flip-flop. They flip-flop. And depending on the appearance, I don't know, depending on their mood, maybe it's just depending on the mood that they're in that day, whether they ate food before they went on the show or not, whether his wife is still mad at him because she supports Candace Owens and Frank Turek wants to destroy Candace Owens. I don't know. But depending on the day, the mood, whether his blood sugar is high or low, whether his 65-year-old brain is working or not working, he'll have no problem saying that Tyler Robinson is for sure the killer. And then here, the alleged killer of Charlie Kirk, Tyler Robinson.
and there is no resurrection, then we're all ultimately going to wind up in the same place, nowhere. We're just going to go out of existence. So there's no ultimate meaning, which means it doesn't matter really how you live here. But you and I both know, and our listeners and viewers both know, there is true meaning to life. There is a reason we're here. We're here to know God through Jesus and to...
Wait, did he just say it doesn't matter how you live your life when you're here? Did I hear that right? Flipping and flopping psyop. Also, yanking and banking psyop. Did he just say that it doesn't matter how you live your life here? I mean, I get where he's going with that, because obviously what matters above all is that you put your faith in Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior and that you accept him in your heart. However, that when you do that, you will know them by their fruit, Frank. It does matter what you do when you're here, right? Because a true transformation internally has effect on the transformation that happens externally. So, I don't know. So somebody said that he's like one of the top, America or the world's best apologists. No, he's not. He's not even top 10. Oh, okay. He is top 10. I think he's like 8.
Make him known. That's what Charlie was doing. That's what we're trying to do when we go to college campuses. That's what you do every Sunday and every Wednesday there at Calvary Chapel, Chino Hills. You're trying to show people that Christ is real and you can know God through him and be saved and sanctified. And ultimately, we're going to be with him just like Charlie is now. He's absent from the body and present with the Lord.
Christ.
So there can't be a more important message than that there is an eternity, and you're either going to be on one side or the other. You're going to be with Jesus, which means you're going to get grace, or you're going to be without.
Can I ask a question? What is the point of this video? Why did Jack and Frank feel that they had something of value to present today? So they're going to push their books, because everybody loves the books. And they're going to talk about Charlie again and again and again, because they just got to keep reminding everyone that, they were there. Frank was there, and they're best friends and like father figures, mentors to Charlie. They just got to keep that on the forefront of everyone's mind. But I don't understand even why they needed to make this video today. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out.
Jesus, which means you're going to get justice. And Jack, I don't want justice from an infinitely just being. If I got justice, I would be toast.
I would be the toast right alongside you. I'd be the other slice. Completely agree. Frank, just help me walk through this, what I'm going to try to articulate. What you just said is so true. People can deny it, but they're going to be denying truth. That said, isn't it amazing where, yes, we had a chance to pour into Charlie's life. Charlie became, people could watch this. Charlie became more of a truth teller in the realm of, he was always a truth teller.
Right.
But people who followed him from early on, he was very savvy and very much a truth teller in the realm of society and politics and issues, policy. And
What the heck?
more and more, he began to get confident in his faith. And he grew stronger in his theology. And that theology began to come out. Charlie became more winsome. You and I saw him literally under the control of the Holy Spirit in hostile environments. And he maintained a witness and became more winsome to those who are willing to accept truth. I put this forth to you. The more biblical Charlie got, the more beautiful Charlie became.
Yes.
And yet the more hated he became.
As long as he was spouting the right biblical truths, right? As long as he continued to support Israel. That's the caveat. They'll never say it, but it's there. Yeah, he was their guy. He was their guy. And he was Israel's guy. And he was, Trump and JD's guy. As long as he did what they wanted. But the moment he started using his influence, his impact, his reach, his platforms to demand answers from this administration about Jeff Yeppe, he got a call. You got to stop doing that. When he started asking questions about October 7th, got to stop doing that. When he started talking about Jewish donors in Israel and Bibi, the connection with Jeff Yeppe and the Mossad in Israel, politicians and neocons dragging us into war with Iran. You got to get back. We got to have a pressure session with him. We have to have emergency Zoom call meetings. We have to have an emergency Hamptons retreat where we put on a pressure session with Charlie Kirk. We got to have Bibi Netanyahu and President Trump call him to remind him of his place and his duty. Got to try to force him back into that path that they said he had to stay on. But the moment he started to stray from that, he wasn't their guy anymore.
Among those who hate truth. In other words, and I try to say this respectfully, knowing that we know Erica and love her. It wasn't just Charlie that took a bullet that day. There was something that was bigger that took a bullet that day, but thank God it cannot die. And that is truth itself.
Is Jack having a stroke? He's not talking very well. I don't know what's happening with him. Someone might want to check his blood sugar.
That guy shot at truth. It was what Charlie was saying that was.
Okay, so who's that guy? Oh, well, we know Frank Turek earlier, right? Allegedly, Tyler Robinson. They have no problem using their platforms to tell everyone that's watching and in their pews on Sunday who the killer is. They've already decided, and how Charlie died, even though the trial hasn't even commenced yet. What he was killed by, who he was killed by, only who he was killed by, one person. Trial hasn't even happened yet. The preliminary hearing brought forth more questions, no answers. Evidence that has issues up and down, holes all over it.
Biblical truth. Love your neighbor. When he said, give that person, listen, don't laugh at this person. Let them speak. Let them ask their question. He was being just like Jesus to them. And then he would come back with a biblically rooted answer. I would say to you, Frank Turek, because truth is so important and so on the line, that in a way, it was biblical truth that finally tipped the scale, that this person that was evil couldn't take it anymore. They just had to respond, grinding teeth, whatever it might be. They are going to silence the messenger of truth.
They're talking about Tyler Robinson, grinding his teeth, and that he had to silence Charlie Kirk because he was calling out, the evil in the left.
And none of us, right, Frank? None of us as Christians should be surprised that the world would come against truth.
No, we are called to suffer for him. And Jesus famously said, count it all joy, essentially, when you experience insults and persecution on account of my name, because great is your reward in heaven.
Yep.
Really, Tyler Robinson, the alleged killer, if
all of a sudden
evidence is what it seems to be, was someone that claimed Charlie was a fascist.
Yeah.
We all know, Jack, that a typical fascist tactic is to hand the microphone to your opponent and say, please, let me hear your case. Why don't you make it? And we'll have a dialogue. No, the fascist, ironically, was Tyler Robinson, not Charlie Kirk. And the reason.
Watch how quickly he goes from allegedly. The evidence shows, I believe the evidence shows, the trial will, eventually show and prove. Look, watch how quickly he just goes straight into Tyler Robinson's the fascist killer that killed Charlie Kirk. The only pieces of evidence that speak to any kind of motive that is being placed on Tyler Robinson are the Discord chats, the text messages, and that stupid handwritten letter, all of which, bro, none of it seems real. It all that this kid wrote these things. Do you guys remember how they were written? My love, Orem, a little while longer yet. Not to mention there's issues with the timeline on where he was, where they're saying he was, and the Discord chat most likely couldn't have even happened because he was in custody, already Mirandized at the time at 6:25. And yet the Discord chat came out at 8 or 9 or something like that. For them to be speaking in such certainty, right, that the motive for this killer, Tyler Robinson, was that, you know, he was just so angered. Remember, that comes directly from it. There's some hate that just cannot be negotiated out. I've had it. They want to convince anyone watching that is their biblical duty, is to believe what they're saying and to support Erica in Turning Point and to want Tyler Robinson to be convicted and charged and put to death.
As you just mentioned, that he had to kill Charlie was because, as Paul describes in Romans chapter 1, he was suppressing the truth so much that it ultimately led to a depraved mind.
Oh.
Where he knew he couldn't kill God, so he tried to kill God's representative.
There you go.
And he's killing God's representative, not realizing, of course, the truth doesn't change even if you kill the truth teller. Reality doesn't change just because you kill the truth teller. It's still wrong to do what he was doing and to live the lifestyle he was living. And out of love, Charlie was trying to reach out to people who were struggling in that trans relationship in which Tyler Robinson found himself. And Charlie was trying to help people, and instead they killed him for it, or at least Tyler Robinson did. But it's a little bit bigger than that, Jack.
There you go. There you go. I told you. I mean, I'm too good at this with these guys. What was it? What minute are we in? What minute are we in? 11 minutes. Do I need to back it up? And how do you guys see what he did, right? You see how he changed allegedly. The evidence will show, the trial will conclude and will prove. And then that statement. Did you guys catch it? Please tell me you caught it, right?
Tyler Robinson found himself. And Charlie was trying to help people, and instead they killed him for it, or at least Tyler Robinson did. But
they killed him for it. At least Tyler Robinson did. Not allegedly. There you go. 11 minutes in.
It's a little bit bigger than that, Jack, as you know. Right after Charlie was murdered, there was a survey done. And we may have this in the War on Reality. I'm trying to remember if we included the survey, but I'll say it now anyway, that about 3% of very conservative people, Jack, believe that it's okay to use violence sometimes to advance a political point of view. 25% of very liberal people think that. Translation: very liberal people are more than 8 times more likely to commit violence to advance a political idea than are conservatives. Why is all of this violence coming from the left? I think the answer is, Jack, they can't win on the merits. They can't.
So there we go. What is the point of this video? Well, to make sure everybody knows that they think Tyler Robinson is the 100% murderer and killer of Charlie Kirk, but also that the left is to blame for his radicalization, his anger, and his hate and his heart, and for brainwashing Tyler into the radicalized state of mind that he was in, where he supposedly planned, executed, and carried out this assassination in 2 weeks. So there you go. Official narrative. There it is. Fed slop.
Actually argue for their position because their position doesn't comport with reality. Quite often it's self-contradictory as well, Jack. I mean, they'll say things like there is no truth, and you ask them, is that true? Is it true that there is no truth? I mean, they're claiming there is no objective morality, but they think you're objectively wrong if you disagree with them, right? They claim math is racist, Jack. Yeah. That just doesn't add up with me. They claim that reason is a tool of oppression as they try and use reason to advance their points. I mean, it's a self-contradictory worldview. And when people realize that, instead of trying to argue it, they resort to violence. It's tragic.
Yeah, it's remarkable. And somebody might be watching this podcast right now and saying, oh, Frank Turek, that's a horrible thing to say. You're insinuating that a lot of these people who are of the progressive leftist side of things are committing the crimes of violence like this. Answer: yes. That's exactly what's happening. Go look at the information and the data and the investigations that finally get out over time. And it's not only that, Frank, but the War in Reality, which you've articulated in this great book,
Huh.
It's gotten to a point where culturally we better wake up, because it's very frightening. And I mean it this way, that why is it that there is
You got to go buy his book, right? Because he was there on 9/10. He was mentoring Charlie Kirk. He's like a father to Charlie Kirk. He he's considered in some people's eyes like a pastor. And he wrote this book for such a time as this. You better go buy it.
overwhelming propensity from violent crimes that are most often used by firearms against conservatives being done by transgender LGBTQ
There we go.
community members. Is there some sort of a link to this? Is there, you mentioned Romans 1. This, this is going to sound just absolutely absurd to people, and it's going to infuriate people. But Romans 1, God says, because they did not like to retain God in their thoughts, he gave them over to a reprobate mind. And one of the manifestations of the reprobate mind, God says, is that they begin to have unbridled passions, men for men and women for.
All right, we're going to skip. Hold on. He's talking about the last days, and that's the time that we're in right now, and talking about trying to communicate the liberal mind. Your book's cover describes it perfectly. Let's go 1530. As he holds it up. Here we go. Ready?
It's almost impossible. Why? Because your cover describes it perfectly. They view things completely inverted, and to them, it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense to them. And so we are the ones that are illogical. We're not, Frank Turek is not loving, because he should be more loving. He needs to open up the confines, or the fence, to broader thinking about what is truth. So what does Frank Turek say regarding the nature of truth?
Well, the nature of truth is what corresponds to reality, and reality is just the sum of all truths. And only.
Oh my gosh, bro. This is the problem with people. Some people, they get degrees. They get little letters in front of their name. They get a plaque that they can hang up on the wall. They get all of this notoriety and respect in the community, and they start to believe their own crap. Truth, objective reality. And he sits here to lecture us on truth and objective reality while he lies time and time and time again about facts, about what he did that day, what he didn't do that day, what Brian did that day, what Brian didn't do that day, where he was, what he said. Was there drones? Was there not drones? Did he give CPR? Did he not give CPR? How could he have stayed on the phone and kept his phone in his back pocket when he changed into the scrubs inside the hospital, and then remembered, he pulled out his phone when he was at the hotel room 8 hours later, and his, daughter or son-in-law, I forget which one was which. It's either his son and daughter-in-law, or it's his daughter and son-in-law. We're still on the phone. And every time we catch him in a lie, he goes, no. Or Rob McCoy, no. We're not lying. That's just a mistake. I didn't know there was a building up there. I didn't know that there could be someone standing up there. You did when you made the statement, bud, because you made the statement after 9/10. You made the statement that you were positive it was drones after 9/10. Obviously, you didn't know that there was a building there where somebody could be standing up there supposedly recording the footage, the B-roll footage, before you got there. We know that. But the statement you made was in the days and weeks and months following the event, and you knew that there was a building up there. So when you made the statement, you knew. For you to lecture us on truth and reality and try to define those terms when you yourself can't even keep track of reality. You're not even operating in reality. It's like, this is your truth. You're like one of them. Now, this is my truth. I was there. Brian isn't lying about not doing CPR. He's just mistaken. Rob McCoy isn't lying that Mikey had blood all over him. He misspoke. Every time we catch you guys in clearly narrative control, lying, spreading misinformation, you just create an excuse for it. At what point is there enough of these occurrences where you guys at least once go, yeah, I just lied. Yeah. You couldn't do that. You know why you couldn't do that? You'd lose all respect in the community. You wouldn't sell any books. No one would come to hear you speak, because as a pastor, especially on something as big as this, if you knowingly and willingly decided and chose to lie and then admitted it after the fact, bro, I don't know that you could recover that. Not in regards to Charlie Kirk's murder. I don't know that people in the public would ever go like, it's okay, I forgive him. He told the truth. He admitted it. No, I don't think people would be able to let that go. So they'll never admit when they get caught lying.
God knows all of reality, quite obviously, because he's the one that
you too
knows
though
all truths.
You too.
But when you suppress truth, when you try and suppress truth to go your own way, then you're given over to futile thinking, as Paul says, and then to a depraved mind. Let's give an example of this that doesn't have anything to do with sexuality, because people get all spooled up when you start talking about sexuality. Jack, you and I both know we've been married. I've been married over 40 years. So have you, right? Yep. And when you,
yeah, but your wife wrote in, man, she's not happy with you. She loves Candace Owens. Your wife and you are at odds. Okay. This is my opinion, because you read that email. You wrote 37 answers to the questions regarding Candace Owens. Candace Owens is ruining marriages. Speaking from personal experience, Frank, been married. You got to watch out, Frank.
You put two broken people in one relationship, sometimes there's going to be trouble, right?
Yep.
You and I have both had situations where our wife said something to us that we knew was true, but we didn't like it.
That's right. It's called marriage.
And we get...
Yes, it's called, why are you guys lying about Charlie Kirk's assassination? Frank, why did you lie about the drones? Did she ever ask you that, Frank? Let's see. Did Frank's wife ask him about why he lied about the drones? Did she ask you, why did you lie about the CPR in the car, Frank? What's up with that? I mean, is it because you have a 65-year-old, early onset dementia brain? Like that was your excuse one day. Oh, I have this disease called being 65. I just mix things up, Yeah. Freaking Frank. Freaking fracking Frank. We're going to the next one. Look at them. They're so pleased with themselves. Look at Jack. Oh, these guys, bro. These guys. I got the next timestamp. Hold on. 17. Let's see. Hold on. Bobcat. You try impress. No, it's going to come out swinging. No, so 1748. There we go. 45 is the closest I can get. Gosh, these guys drive me nuts.
And that's what happens. That's called sin. We have this sin nature, and we want to lash out at people when they're telling us the truth.
Yeah.
That's what happened with Tyler Robinson and Charlie. Charlie was telling him the truth, and he didn't want to hear it. Now, let me go back to what you said earlier.
Notice that he continues to do this, right? Allegedly. And that now he's just talking in certainty about Tyler Robinson being the one that didn't like what Charlie Kirk was saying and therefore killed him. Bro, these guys are frauds, man.
I'm not saying that leftists are violent.
Oh.
The data is saying that.
Oh, okay.
Now, it's still
That's
a
a great
minority,
point.
thankfully.
Of
It's
course.
still a minority, thankfully. Most trans people are not violent. But as a subgroup, they're more violent than any other group. Why is that? Why is that? They're suppressing the truth. They may have some mental illness involved too. There's issues there. And it's not loving. Here's one of the biggest problems we highlight in the book too, Jack.
Got to get the
Our
book.
culture, even many in the church, not Calvary Chapel, Chino Hills, but because you're teaching truth all the time.
Oh, yeah.
But a lot of people in the church think love means approval.
Frank, you got to get your fingers away from the camera. It tries to autofocus, or you got to turn your autofocus off. You got really blurry there for a second. Put your fingers down, Frank. No one likes to be pointed at. You know the saying, right? When you point at someone, you got four pointed right back at you, buddy. Let's see. I'm looking something up. Hold on. Because I don't want to listen to their whole sermon and let them lecture us on everything that they think they know. So I'm just getting to the parts that matter. So hold up, because there's more here. Man. Hold up. What do you say? Get in line. Order. Hold on. Let's hear him plug the book again. So it's 2516, and then I'm going to find the next thing that we're going to go to. You just can't.
Don't make it right. Hey, Frank, you mentioned in this great book, everybody, The War on Reality. You've got to get it. Frank, where do they get it? I assume, by the way, one author to another. I think you and I know this, but maybe our audience doesn't. To make this book a big success, pre-orders are key, right?
Yeah.
Go to Amazon. Go to Amazon and order Dr. Frank Turek's book, co-authored with Phoenix Hayes.
Oh my gosh.
The War on Reality. Get in line and get it. Sign up for it on Amazon. Pre-orders.
Oh my gosh, these guys, bro. Yeah, but they're mad at Candace Owens. They're mad at Candace Owens for making money off of her show that already existed before Charlie was murdered, and that yeah, it's just insane. The hypocrisy is crazy. Let's see. I'm skimming through it so that we don't have to listen to the BS. Wait, what? 3154. Wait, what? No way. Does he really say this? Hold on. Let's go right there.
Think about debates because I'm a pastor teacher. I'm kind of busy. That's why God invented Frank Turek to go do debates.
God invented Frank Turek to go do Christian debates on his behalf. Right. Okay. Great, Jack. Thanks for talking for God now.
But
Jack, they don't know you. You're married. You debate every day. So do I. I lose every day too.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Yeah, why would I go public? I'm tired of losing
That's
privately.
Right. You got Lisa hammering you in private every day, Jack.
That is so good. And the thing is this.
Oh my gosh, these guys are the worst. Don't worry. We're skimming through. We're not. Wait. 31. I got to go 33, 48.
You know, Charlie used to talk about this all the time. First, they'll claim they'll claim you ought to tolerate them. Then they'll claim you need to accept what they're doing. Then finally, you need to celebrate what they're doing. I mean, Jack. Jack.
Wow.
People who have given their lives for this country get one day, Memorial Day.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow we have a whole month for a same-sex behavior. Why is
Insane.
that?
Sick. Truly sick.
Do we have our priorities
Inverted.
just inverted somehow?
So
Inverted, like the cover of the book.
you got to go buy the
Inverted.
book.
Reality's been inverted.
Got to go buy
Good
the book.
is evil. Evil is good.
Got to go buy the book.
Wow.
Hey, Jack.
Wow.
I want to mention one thing. If people do pre-order the book.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way,
yeah.
Honestly, this is not about money because you don't make a lot of money on books unless you're a million seller. And I'm not a million. Actually, I am a million seller. I got 1 million of these, Jack. I got 1 million of these in my cellar. Okay. But
Bro, these guys are just the worst. It's unreal. It's not about making money. It's not about selling the books. Please go buy the book. Oh my gosh, 35. Oh, it's about to come up right here. All right, ready?
but if they do pre-order the book, first of all, even if they don't pre-order the book, if they go to thewaronreality.com, they're going to see the foreword written by Erica Kirk. It didn't make the first edition of the book because it came in a...
Erica Kirk wrote the foreword to Frank Turek's book. Really? You don't say. Huh.
little late. Erica was busy, but it is a very profound foreword in which she says this: I had a new reality that came upon me on September 10th.
Huh.
And the only thing that gives me peace is not fighting that reality, but surrendering to it.
Amen.
And at the end of the...
Bro, she surrendered to it immediately. She was like, okay, I get to be CEO. Okay. Wait, I get the money too. Where's the downside here? Can you guys help me figure out where the downside is? I know I'm being a little bit joking, but it definitely seems like bro, I'm not even like she walked into that with a hop, skip, and a jump. 48 hours. Didn't need to seek any counsel. Didn't need to pray about it. Didn't need to think like, what would Charlie want me to do? What did me and Charlie say publicly my role was? Now that he's gone, what should my main priority be? No, she didn't think about that. Not at all. Hold on, let's go.
The day, Jack, there are two options we as human beings have. We can either rebel or we can repent.
You guys need to repent.
And for those who are rebelling against reality, and the author of reality is Jesus himself,
I agree.
the only thing you're going to get ultimately is justice from an infinitely just being.
You should definitely
And you don't want
repent.
that. What you want is grace, but that takes repentance because God is not going to force you into heaven.
All right, 38, 32.
Wrong. And by the way, if we go back to the murder of Charlie Kirk,
Oh, don't let it.
notice that Charlie had every one of the characteristics that, according to these people, made him an oppressor. He was a white heterosexual Christian who was a citizen of the United States, who also was well off financially. So he's automatically an oppressor. And Tyler Robinson appears to be radicalized against such an oppressor.
There you go.
By the way, that fact that Charlie was a young man who was well off, let's be accurate.
Oh,
Charlie Kirk at a very young age started a business and turned it into an empire and made every penny. And
That's right.
I don't know about you. I know about me. I was not born with a silver spoon in my mouth, and whatever woe on me that I was directed by my dad on my 18th birthday to start buying certain stocks and investing in the United States. And people will say to me, oh, what do you know about eating pork and beans? Oh, really? Why don't you ask Lisa and I? Because for about 30 years of our marriage, that's all we ate. We made it. We were a one-income family. That's how we lived. And then now that we're older and we're not rich, but we can kind of do what we want to do. Oh, look at you. You're privileged. Excuse me? I worked my fingers to the bone to be able to take that vacation or to whatever that might be. That said, Frank, maybe I need some personal counseling right now.
you do.
Am I wrong? Is there something wrong with me? When you just
Yes.
articulated and described on that page, I think 192 of those people on that chart. Am I wrong? They've never bothered me. I've never taken them seriously because I know what truth is. I know that I have had my jobs and my careers and my education. I'm not threatened by that. I'm not threatened by my faith that I have. I don't need to hide it. I don't. My house has an American flag on it.
Good for you.
I don't cover it up. I don't take their threats seriously. Am I?
Oh my gosh, but Charlie Kirk did. And his security team sure as heck didn't. I'm trying to make sure that I don't want to have to listen to these guys longer than we actually have to. All right. That's the end of that one. Let's go to, let's see. This does have nothing to do with the Charlie Kirk assassination, but so tomorrow that video doesn't, but more does that we're going to cover tonight. But I just want to show something that James Kaddis says. James Kaddis is going to have Erica Kirk. Well, they're going to be together on their Bible in 365 show tomorrow, and we'll be covering that. I'll pre-watch it to make sure we don't have to watch the entire thing and just watch the parts that are necessary for us to understand. Like if they say anything important for us, that's what I'll bring to you. But James Kaddis from his, I've shown it before, from his podcasting studio's got a photo of Israel in behind him, right? And if you were to go look, he's a fear monger. If you go look at his YouTube channel and the thumbnails and the titles of what he shares, it's gross what he's doing. He defends Bibi, he defends Trump, he supports the war, he supports Israel, and he tells everyone that's their duty to do the same. Oh, and Erica and Turning Point. It is, yeah. To think that Charlie wouldn't have been pressured by these people is just ignorant. Okay. To think that these people wouldn't have been reaching out to Charlie privately, personally, calling, texting, messaging, emailing, meeting with Charlie. When Charlie began on the PBD podcast in October 2023 to question Bibi, to question the tyrannical regime in Israel, either allowing it to happen, calling a stand down order, or even, kind of taking part in it, like Israel's 9/11. That was the beginning. And then he's wanting to talk and have Tucker Carlson and Megyn Kelly talk about Jeffy Epi and his intel connections to the Mossad and to our intel agencies, right? And that all of what Charlie was doing before he really started getting the threats and the pressure from the donors and from everyone else around him, it was already going to be, it had to do about the negative involvement that Israel's had in the United States, whether that be in our politics, right? Them paying, endorsing and paying contributions to political figures to get elected, or, running this whole blackmail scheme here, which is also against the politicians to control them and powerful people to control them. But also all of the bad intel. Charlie was talking about that all the time. Like, they were wrong about Iraq. They were wrong about Afghanistan. They were wrong about weapons of mass destruction. They were wrong about this. Maybe, and he continued to say, maybe we should not just trust them about the bombs in Iran, that they're, weeks away from a, nuclear weapon that he's been, Bibi's been screaming it since 1996. Sorry, you're going to have to earn our trust back, right? That we should not be going to war for Israel, on behalf of Israel, or even with Israel. They're their own country, right? If this is a war that they've want to do, they can send their own men and women to do it. Charlie didn't even want the bombing in Fordo and Natanz to happen. I know there's a third one. I can't remember the name. Charlie was there 2 days ahead of that, lobbying against it. He lost because they did the bombing and then they take him out and then they go to full-fledged war with Iran. And we're still there, even though every time they report we got a peace deal, ceasefire, and then Israel strikes and we're back at war. This isn't going to be negotiated out. That Israel has no goal to have a deal, a peace deal. And at this point, Trump and this administration is not independent. Like they're not doing what is in the best interest of themselves and their own administration and their own public image, but not even for the United States and for America and for the citizens of the United States. This isn't going to end the way they keep selling it to us. Like the mass, mainstream news media outlets just continue to lie about why we're there, what we're doing, what stage we're in, what's coming down the line. Trump is the president of peace. Yeah, they wanted to give him the Nobel Peace Prize. It's insane. Yeah, and WMDs. I know, right? At what point do we go, this relationship has always been one-sided? Don't forget, they stole our nuclear secrets and sold it, right? Not even an ally. We don't even have a formal, agreement with them. Every time we've gone to war, they don't send troops in support. Charlie most certainly would have been feeling pressure, not only from the donors, not only from, people inside Turning Point, like Tyler Boyer, Andrew Colvett, Erica Kirk, Stacey Sheridan. He also would have been feeling pressure from politicians like Trump and J.D. Vance. We know that. From Bibi, Rabbi Woolicki, Josh Hammer, Ben Shapiro. But he also would have been feeling a lot of pressure from all of these characters because this is their whole shtick. It's their whole image, right? It's plastered all over their churches, their channels, their sermon libraries. The moment Charlie was assassinated and then we went to war with Iran, they came out to say this was our biblical prophecy being fulfilled. And it was our duty to support this because if I were to ask you, that's what I'll do. Let's do a poll real quick. How to do this. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, I know how to do it. I'll go. All right, now we're going to go here. We'll go 1, 2, 3. We'll go 2, 1, 3. We'll go 3, 2, 1. And I think one more. 2, 3, 1. All right. Number these in order from most to least. Like what's most important to you and least. Not important, but no, it's like in a hierarchy. What's from what's most, I'll just put what's most important to you. Okay. All right. And I'm sorry if I messed this up. This is just how I was trying to figure out how to do this. Let's see if this makes sense to anybody. All right. So the question, right. Okay. So if God is numbered number 1, and then family is number 2, and then country is number 3, in what order do you rank these? That would have been the better way to word it. I think most everyone is going to say, well, no, I'm not going to talk for everyone, but I would just say the majority will probably land on number 1, which is God, family, country. Okay. That's the majority. And so if leaders, if pastors can get you to view supporting Israel as like supporting God, right? Is like connecting that as part of your duty and like the importance, and that it's an existential, threat to humanity, to the world, and to Christianity. And that, that you must, if God is ranked number 1, here's what I'm trying to find the best way to say this. They don't want to link supporting Israel with you supporting your family or supporting your country. They want you to link it with supporting God, because for most people, that's at the top of the list for most. And so if they can link supporting Israel with God, they're going to get you to view this as something that even comes before family and country. And I think that's by design, right? They want you to put Israel up there with God, above family, above yourself, and above your country. And that's my honest opinion. I think that's by design. Tell me, do you guys think I'm right? And that's like one of the tactics, like that's what they're doing. Thank you so much, Lisa, for becoming a member. You are a great contribution to this investigation and the community. Thank you, Sonia. Good to see you. Alex got mittens. Frank Turek just said it. Evil is real. Yeah. We knew when he said that. We're looking right at, here's looking at you, Frank. Here's looking at you. Not sure if that was grammatically correct, but hopefully you understood what I meant. Yeah, of course. That I'm a great contribution to this investigation and to the community. Yes, I did understand. Thank you, Sonia Moore. Monica, thank you for the gift. And Candace Owens realized she had handlers. Looking back. Ditto with Charlie Kirk. Yeah, 100%. A lot of the times you can't see it when you're in it. But when you look back at things, you can see like, oh, that's what that person was doing. And like, what's his name? That Mark Meckler guy, where Candace Owens realized and told him, lose my number. Lose my number. You're not who you claim to be. I found out about you. Bye. That there's people that were placed in Candace Owens and Charlie's life to direct them, to control them, to corral them. And I think, as you know, if you're referencing the Grant Cardone 10X conference statement that Charlie made, he wasn't afraid of crazy leftists, right? But the people that got his, attention and that he was concerned about were people that were in his circle that betrayed him, lied to him, deceived him, told him that he couldn't, shouldn't, or wouldn't, do something. And that there's clearly people that he probably didn't know what their role and part was and everything until the very end, But I think he found out, and I think he realized it. Let's see. Let me pull something up real quick. Hold on. Hold up. I got to see the timestamp. Hold on. What is the poll look like right now? 84%. Yeah, put it in order as God, family, country. That's kind of what I figured about, the majority for sure. Oh, okay, this is what I was going to play. That's right. Of James Kaddis.
Dear brothers and sisters, I want to welcome you to another episode of Countdown to Eternity.
Oh my gosh.
Last week, we promised you a doozy. And guess what? You're about to get a doozy. Ain't that right, Tommy?
You are going to get a doozy. I'm going to get James wound up a few times today. I'm just going to start right from the beginning. All right. So check this out. Gary Bauer, who
what does that book say on his why is up with these guys always promoting their book? You see the Israeli flag, the promised land. Okay. That's what it says.
I don't know if you're familiar with him. He used to be in politics. He's great on the Bible. He said this. He's talking about communism via Islam. Mamdani, all these people getting elected. He said this: we are in an emergency. This is the most dangerous moment for the American Republic since the Civil War. For the first time in American history, a clearly Marxist movement with its own street thugs is in.
But not Israel. But not Israel getting us entangled into a war. That's not on your radar. It's not on your radar. Okay. Let's see. Freaking James Kaddis, man. Let me see. Hold on. I'm going to pull something up because I want people to see this. So let's see. Okay, it's not going to work that way. Let me type it in. I'm looking something up. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Because I want as many people to see this as possible, just so that we keep them accountable with all their lies.
Lastly, we didn't respond because Charlie always viewed Candace as a friend, and we were holding out hope that she would return that friendship and stop what she was doing.
What was that? Charlie always viewed Candace as a friend, right? Oops.
Lastly, we didn't respond because Charlie always viewed Candace as a friend, and we were holding out hope that she would return that friendship and stop what she was doing.
So the reason why they didn't respond back in December to anything that Candace Owens was saying and doing is because Charlie always viewed, always. Do you guys know what always means? Do I need to do another poll to find out what is how do you define always? Okay. I don't know how they define always, but always means always. Okay. There's the poll. There's the results from the poll. 88%, 1, 2, and 3. God, family, country. Now they're out here saying that they've had proof the entire time. They have evidence. They have text messages from Charlie, personal conversations directly between Charlie and Andrew Colvett that Charlie actually didn't view Candace as a friend, supposedly. And here he is in December saying, no, the reason why they didn't respond is because Charlie always viewed Candace as a friend. Oh, what is it, Blakey Pooh? Andrew Colvett. I thought Charlie assigned Andrew Colvett and someone else to be Candace's handler and to manage her because he was so concerned that she was going to do damage to Turning Point USA. And that he didn't consider her a friend, and that you and many others are out here trying to lie, including Andrew Wilson and many others, that Charlie and Candace weren't friends at all. And that you on X were like, I dare you to post something that isn't from 2018, like something in the last 3 months, 6 months, 8 months. Their whole goal is to try and get people to not listen to Candace Owens, to not believe her. And one of the things that gives her credibility, is herself, number one. And number two, when is that happening? What's today's date? Okay. Sorry, somebody just messaged me something. Yeah, that they're out here lying and saying that, Charlie and Candace weren't friends. And I just find that extremely gross. And just totally dishonest. I found this. I don't know what it is. Because like I said, some of these, hold on. I just found these. I'm going back through the Charlie Kirk archive to see. I wasn't watching them every day after the assassination. Once Charlie was gone, I wasn't listening to them. I mean, I tuned in for specific shows, but I started immediately getting invested in my time went into listening to like Candace Owens, Baron Coleman, and other people, Ian Carroll, and other people that were, and official channels that was giving us information about the investigation at the time. The first 33 hours, like nobody was really podcasting about it. They were reposting what was coming out of official channels. But so going back through this archive and wanting to know what are some things that these guys were saying and doing back then, that's what my time is being spent on some of the time.
Okay. Blake Neff. So there's, we're gonna just use half of the table here. Honored to be with you all, and what an evening it was last night. So much going on. There was this. I mean, the world exclusive. The first time Erica has gone on camera in an interview. Erica Kirk, Charlie's widow, of course. Actually, that's not true. She came on this show for a few segments just to talk about the future of this show and how we are continuing on in Charlie's honor and legacy. But really, this was the first time network television, live prime time with Jesse Waters, and it was. I've gotten so many texts. I've gotten so many people just saying how remarkable her courage and her bravery is. And I can tell you that the interview happened in this room right here where we're sitting. They did it right there. The production team, our amazing production team, by the way, who's just been tremendous throughout this whole process, cleared out a lot of our own gear and made room for Jesse's team to get in here. They did the interview right there. I sat against that wall during it. There was a number of Fox's production team in here, and I watched it happen live. And I knew it was going to be a really incredible just moment for the world to see, because I will tell you, Blake, live and in person, I was pretty much a wreck when it was happening. And I actually asked Jesse after the interview, I said, how did you keep it together? Like, I saw him there. He was like sitting there stoked, and he's like, I had to emotionally prep in advance.
That's not my phone vibe going off. That's on his desk. Remember, they are wanting us immediately to have sympathy for and to rally behind and support Erica Kirk. Okay, that's why they started putting her out on all of these shows and like soft launching her as she's gonna be the new CEO of Turning Point USA, and she's Charlie Kirk's widow, and this is the right thing to do. And so the right thing for all of you to do is to support her and not question it.
To make sure that I was not going to break down or get emotional.
You can kind of tell because he actually, like, the way he asks his questions is a little like robotic almost.
Yeah,
like
well,
you could tell he was sort of disassociating.
That's exactly what he said he did.
Yeah.
He had to disconnect himself from his own emotions, and he said even still, she almost got him a couple times, and he's like, I don't even know how I got through that interview. It was that difficult, and I know
that interview was bizarre. Do you guys remember? Actually, like, I mean, all of the interviews that Erica Kirk did after the assassination of Charlie Kirk were bizarre. They were really bizarre. I mean, her behavior right away was just there's never been, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, has there ever been a moment where she's been on camera and after the assassination where we're like, oh no, yeah, she's grieving. That's authentic. That's genuine. Like, look at her. Like, that's not weird. She's not being weird. This isn't weird. I'm just being honest. Every single one from the day of, right? When, she's dangling out of the car, holding the necklace and with Stacey Sheridan, then she's inside of the casket to, what's the next one? I mean, she's on the show. She's talking about how excited she is. She's like smiling. There's no tears. It's within the first week. Then we have the leaked footage from inside Turning Point, the meetings, the Zoom call, the audio, the video. Then you have the memorial. Then she goes on Megyn Kelly. We have Glenn Beck. I mean, all of them. There's not one. I mean, what she did with JD Vance at what was that place? Not Georgia. That's the one that she didn't show up to later down the line. I'm talking about the one with JD Vance where she sticks her fingers inside of his hair. I mean, Barry Weiss, Amfest. Her behavior when she goes to the White House was bizarre. When she's standing next to Stacey Sheridan instead of standing next to Charlie's parents. And so if you guys remember, it's Erica Kirk, Stacey Sheridan, chair, empty chair, Charlie's mom, Charlie's dad. It's the same way on the tarmac when the casket's being loaded and unloaded. You have Erica Kirk, Stacey Sheridan, space, Charlie's mom, Charlie's dad. How come we never have one? And at the memorial, nothing. How come we don't have one image? We don't have one video of them ever together and consoling each other. I'm not trying to draw a specific conclusion from that of what that might mean. I'm just saying, okay, that in of itself is just very weird, though. Like, we never see them together. We've never seen them. We just have to take Erica's word on it that they're good and that everything's fine. And it just doesn't seem like that's true. I feel like we would have seen, I don't know, one video, one photo of them crying in each other's arms, holding one another, comforting one another. Am I wrong? Like, there should be one of those. There's not. Mara Costa. That's interesting. I went to a junior college in Oceanside, California called Maricosta College. It was called Maricosta College. Hi, from Sydney. I discovered Barron while Candace was on break, and now you while they're both on break. Unchecked power makes pastors place themselves above God. Just watch Death of Pastor's Wife. Heartbreakingly sad. Yeah. Well, I'm so glad that you found me and that you found this community. It's one of, if not the best communities on YouTube. I'm biased because it's it's our community. But we love Candace and Barron and support them and what they're doing. And yeah, it's hard because their audiences and their reach and an impact is so big that most of my shows have always been slotted to go on at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, because there's really no chance to compete with them when they're live. There's just not. And that's just an honest statement. And so, plus I have something that me and the family are doing because Candace and Barron are not live. Well, for Barron, he's not going to have a show the rest of this week. And so I'll be able to go earlier or multiple shows in a day the rest of the week. Today, I just went earlier because my hope was to find new people and for new people to find us going at an earlier time. I think a lot of people, it seems that they've taken they're taking a break. They're using this as a time to take a break from YouTube because yeah, that's what it seems like. But I'm glad that you found this community in this channel, and you'll find that we love Candace and support Candace and what she's doing here. And yeah, so yep, everyone's doing their part. Thank you so much for the gifted Blackline Brief memberships, UFO and Crystal. Thank you for the gift. Good to see you, Crystal. I always forget to unclick it when I go back. It's okay to draw the conclusions, Matt. Pretty sure we all have the same one. Yeah. Oh, regarding Erica and them, like us not seeing any like photos or videos of Erica with Charlie's parents. Yeah, or even with Charlie's sister. They lied to us and said let's see. Okay. Oh, another one just popped up. What does this say? This says, is Erica Kirk dim or dumb like a fox? Oh, because like a fox is dim or dumb, but very clever and very like mischievous and like, you know, I don't know. I don't think she's dumb. I don't think she's smart. I don't think she's dumb. I don't think she's good. I think she's evil. Yeah. I mean, that's just my honest opinion. I think she's evil. Yep. Yep, that's what I think. So
Erica, after it happened, basically collapsed. I mean, she is brave. She is courageous. She knew she had to. I mean, if I could just little inside baseball here.
Oh, yeah.
I've gotten personally for Erica probably like 60 what you would call reputable interview requests, like big outlets, reporters. I mean, there's probably hundreds more than that, but like legitimate journalists that have wanted to interview Erica. And so she sort of knew that this was going to have to happen at some point. And I think Jesse Waters did a phenomenal job. Hat to the whole Fox team. They was very classy, very, very professional, very respectful. But Jesse went there. He went into he asked all the questions.
Let's show the clips. Let's
do it. Well, actually, I just want to. Okay, yeah, go ahead. You pick the first clip.
Let's do. Let's just do the most basic one. Let's just do clip 250.
You told your children that Charlie was going on a work trip with Jesus. Are they still asking, where's Daddy?
Yes, my daughter continues to ask, but it's really sweet because I keep explaining to her a few things. And I said, if ever you want to talk to Daddy, you just look up to the sky and start talking to him. He can hear you. I told her, I said, Daddy is in heaven. She goes, you think I could go sometime? I said, baby, we will all go one day. We will all go one day.
Bro, it is the most. Hold on, let me get these speckles off. Look, look at Andrew. Yeah, I don't know what to do with that clip either, bud, except for to conclude that it was extremely fake. You know? Yeah. That's like my take on all of it with her. It's just not, it's not authentic. It's not real.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, Blake, but the kid clips specifically, a lot of people clipped them up, put them on social media, but there is something crazy hard to watch about the kid clips.
Yeah, that's deliberate, Mr. PR. We need, she is an emotional asset. Remember, that's what the Department of War said, right? We need to use this moment of collective trauma. Okay. Never let a good crisis go to waste. Collective grief. Remember, Tyler Boyer in the immediate aftermath was like, hey guys, Charlie's memorial is going to be like the Super Bowl. All right. We cannot screw this up. It's big, right? I shouldn't exit out of that window where they're talking about the memorial. We'll look at that another time, but that they wanted to maximize people's compassion, empathy, and Christian support for Erica, and like drive people into loving and accepting and supporting Erica, because they knew based on Andrew's and Tyler's and Blake's own statements, supposedly Charlie was going around in the last years of his life saying, hey guys, I know I'm really healthy. I'm 31, but if I die, Erica is going to be CEO. Okay. Just so you all know. Also, Mikey, if I die, I need you to call Erica. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Call Erica. Okay. I know you're not going to do it, but we're going to practice. That they knew. They said it was but a foregone conclusion that when Charlie was murdered, that it was going to be Erica. Remember, Andrew was like telling Candace when she was like, if Ben Shapiro takes over, bro, I'm burning it to the ground. If the wrong people take over, I'm burning it to the ground. And of course, one of the first shows after Charlie's murdered, when they, not the 12th, but the following week, Ben Shapiro and the Daily Wire crew are taking over. And they're there. And in fact, I can pull up my X. I don't know if you guys saw. Let's see. So this is where is it? They're bringing back maybe I'll make it bigger so you guys can see it even more. The Pick Up the Mic, campus across America this fall. And yeah, let's see where. Oh my gosh, they got Blake Neff. This is like who's Graham Allen. Oh my gosh. All right, so this isn't the one that has all of the Daily Wire people. However, so that's the Pick Up the Mic tour that's happening. But the one that's not it. Hold on. Is it this one? Yeah. So this one, right? The America Love It or Leave It tour. I said the takeover is all but complete. You got Michael Knowles, Erica Kirk, who else? Ben Shapiro, he's headlining too. Okay. Alex Clark, Nick Shirley. Yeah, Candace had every right to be concerned if that the Daily Wire was going to take over. That's what it looked like. And, Ben Shapiro, he's the one that coined pick up the bloodstained mic, pick up the mic. And now they're using that. Oh, that's why I was going to share that one, right? Is because this catchphrase right here, pick up the mic, all this came directly from Ben Shapiro. Okay. And yeah. And then he headlines at AmFest. He donates $1 million, offers all of his services. Yeah.
Anyways, keep it going.
Let's do, a lot of these actually go well just in order. She talks about, oh man, there's so many of these.
Oh yeah. Do you want me to go over that? Yeah. Tulsi Gabbard is on there. You want me to read out everyone that's on that list? Sorry, I glanced over it. My bad. I can read it out. Let me go like this. All right. So we have Riley Gaines, Will Witt, Shane Winnings, Brandon Tatum, Lucas Miles, Nick Freitas. I mean, these guys are just not great. Kristen Hawkins, Alex Clark, Blake Neff, Chloe Cole, Jack Posobiec, Joe Bob, Stephen Davis, John Amanakachakawu, I don't know how to say his name, Anthony Watson, Graham Allen, Bo Alford, Alex Stein, Joshua Hames, Corey Sims, John Doyle. Oh my gosh, the moderate case. All these people are anti-Candace Owens, pro-Fed slop. Tyler Robinson's the lone gunman. TPUSA is great. Erica Kirk is great. Matt Nuclear, Savannah Craven, Ryan Heffelenbein, Christian Hodges, Caitlin Bennett, Kate Scott, Christian Collins, David Kite, Fabian Garcia, Bogdan, I don't know how to say some of these names, Lily Kate, Riley Naime, Max Pacheco, Emma Dayton, Maddie Delia, Jaden Hurd, and Macy Gunnell. Oh, it's in the other one, actually. So it's in this one that you were talking about. Yeah, so we have Michael Knowles, Matt Nuclear, a lot of the same people that are on that list or on this list, right? Erica Kirk, Brandon Tatum, Shane Winnings, Riley Gaines, Will Witt, Nala Ray, Ben Shapiro, Representative Brandon Gill, Jeff Metcalf, Matt Nuclear, Ben Shapiro again, Alex Clark, Matt Nuclear again, Tulsi Gabbard, Riley Gaines, Nick Shirley, Will Witt. You know who's not on the list? You know who's on neither of those lists? Who's on none of those lists? Who's on none of those lists? Yep, keep going. Well, okay. Don't list people that I don't care about Benny. Yeah, so Candace is not on the list. Okay, Tucker's not on the list. Megyn Kelly's not on the list. Dave Smith is not on the list. These are Erica was on the list. She's on the she's on one of the lists. Joe Kent's not on the list. Carrie Pershing Bowler's not on the list. People that have spoken at previous events that Charlie was clearly very close with and friends with to the very end. So mainly Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly are not on the list. Buckley Carlson's not on the list. Yeah, Joe Kent. Trump is the Antichrist. I don't think he's the Antichrist, but he's not. He is a Antichrist. Like, he's definitely a Antichrist, just like Nero was, and other really evil figures were a Antichrist. But the Antichrist, I don't know that we know yet. He might be alive. Could be Bibi Netanyahu. It could be Elon Musk. It could be what's his name? Palantir. What's his name? The guy from Palantir. That guy's super evil. It could be Jeffy Eppy, because I don't think he's dead. Could be Trump. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, or he's not here yet. Or AI could be the Antichrist. Yep, that's true. Peter Thiel. Yeah. Let's see. Let's do a funny poll. Let's do a funny poll. Who else did we say? All right. Obviously, this is not an exhaustive list. It only gives me 4 options. I can't add more than that. So, this is the ones I was able to put up there. Also, let's see. I can pull up. Well, we're not done listening to what we got up here, but I just want to pull up. Let me go to my history. So, Andrew Wilson did a show yesterday. Oh, this video is restricted, private. It's gone. What about on YouTube? What about on YouTube? Let's see. Oh, he's doing another one. Is today the 27th? Oh, he is. Pre-drip stream. Oh, because Fridays he does his drip, drip, drip. His evidence. I guess he's doing a pre-drip stream today at 6 p.m. It'll be a whole nothing burger, but we'll catch him tomorrow. Let me see if I can go to the Crucible and share videos live. And his video that was yesterday is not on here. This is from 7 days ago, and this is tomorrow, or tonight. And it's not on here as a video pre-upload. It's not on here either. So, yeah, this guy's shady as all heck. Let me see. We got Matt Tulsi Gabbard is there. What the heck? I know. Yeah. Thank you for the gift. Vibin with Daisy May. Or Vibin with Daisy May. My bad. Vibin. There is no such a thing as Vibin. My bad. Let's go back to these guys.
Let's do just her talking about how she found out about things, because there have been evil people trying to do nasty stuff about this. Let's do 361.
We saw the hats being flung. I put my phone down and it was on silent, so I had no reason to look back at it. I moved my mom. I went back to grab my phone, and that's when Mikey started calling me. He called me within seconds.
So that was a lie. Mikey did not call her within seconds, you guys. By their own admission later with the call log. Okay. He called his wife. Mikey called his wife, was on the phone for 3 minutes with his wife, and then he 3-way called Erica Kirk after that. Okay. Also, so she said that she was live watching Charlie throw out the hats. She admitted that she was like live streaming, watching, but then puts her phone down, which, by the way, from the moment he threw out the hats to the moment he was shot was like 25 minutes. Because he's like out there throwing hats around. He's throwing them out for a while, on this side, on that side, on that side, on this side. Then he like sits down. He engages with the audience a little bit. Then Henry Dell comes up and he's up there for like 10 to 15 minutes. And then Hunter Kozak comes up and he's up there for a few minutes. So from start to finish, it's like 20, 25 minutes. So, but I guess she was live streaming it for the beginning. I don't know how. We know that, Ben Shapiro, Jeremy Boring, Graham Allen, Dana Loesch, Gary Melton all said that they were like watching it live stream that day. That's crazy. We didn't know that was happening. I guess it was just a select few that might have been part of the operation, maybe, perhaps. I don't know. And then she says that right after it happened that Mikey McCoy called her immediately. No, that's the thing. Like, my position as to the character and nature of Erica and all these people is based on all the things they've lied about. And yeah, you can make the case like, okay, like one mistake, not a big deal. It's just one after the other, after the other, after the other. At what point, Andrew says we're not charitable. We're not charitable enough with these people. Okay, but at what point do enough of these, add up to go like, maybe they're lying? I mean, how can you continue to misremember like a day that is just seared in your memory, like just continually misremembering like everything? It's not a coincidence. It's not an accident. It's lies. It's hard to keep up lies when this many people are at different points and they're not as, smart as they think they are and as coordinated and tied in with one another as they think they are. And I think they're brash and they're arrogant, and they realize that like the power of this administration is behind them and ain't nobody going to come after them for anything. That they can also just kind of rub it in your face. Like, yeah, we're lying. Yeah, we did that just for you. Yep. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? We're lying. So what? Oh, do something. I dare you. I don't know. That's one of my takes.
I called Erica. I just remember it rang like 3 or 4 times. I didn't know what to say. Those are the words that will change someone's life forever, and you have to be the one to say it. That was the first time I've ever called her during a campus tour stop.
And so Mikey called me, and I'll never forget him just being like, Charlie's been shot. He's been shot. Get the kids. Get security. Get the kids. Get the kids. He's been shot. I sprinted out of her treatment center. Just collapsed in the middle of the parking lot.
What security? What security did she get? Because Charlie's security's with him. Oh, she got Victor Marks. She got Victor Marks and Victor Marks' security. That's who she got. That's who was there. They had their weapons. That's where that photo shot came from of him like side hugging her and she's like crying in his arms. That they plaster all over social media. Victor's the first to announce that Charlie's dead before anyone should have known. Before Bibi, before Trump. Whoa. And then he had to take it back down. Huh. Nothing to see. Nope, just an accident. Oh, their excuses. It's just at what point do their excuses just run out?
Yeah, do we want to address this? Because, we've talked about it before, but
Please.
I mean, basically, and I have some experience with this too, because Charlie had told me from time to time, not as much as he told told Mikey, but he did tell me, like, listen, if anything ever happens, you call Erica.
Mm-hmm.
And, especially like, when we were out at these events, like he would say, hey, just let Erica know, and sometimes it would almost be joking,
Mm-hmm.
like, and so anyways, Mikey, basically is standing next to Charlie's side when it happens. He turns around, puts his fingers in his ear and walks away. And
they're addressing this because it's an issue back then when this came out. This is in September when this, I don't have it pulled up. I forget the exact date. I won't be able to scroll through it. Or am I going to lose my place if I do this? November 6th. Sorry, November 6th. Yeah, that's about the time frame when Mikey, because that's when the UVU video came out. And we started, Candace started going in on Turning Point and Mikey McCoy and Blake Neff. Yeah, November.
He instantly, I think, just like the noise of that place was so crazy. He ends up calling his wife. They call Erica. They tell Erica. And that moment, I think the thing that.
There you go. So he just admitted it. Did you hear that? He called his wife. Then they called Erica and they told Erica. He slipped up. So it was a three-way call. So he didn't call Erica seconds after. He was on the phone with Elizabeth for 3 minutes before he called Erica.
They tell Erica. And that moment, I think the thing that hit me when Erica said that is that Mikey, I think Mikey said it, said he never had called Erica during an event.
Yeah, that kind of shocked me, and yet it makes sense.
Yeah.
Kind of, why would he?
Because he's busy. Like Mikey's whole job at these events was to take social media videos and get it out to all the social media teams of Charlie coming up to the crowd and Charlie coming up, throwing the hats. And we put them out on social media, and they, people love.
So it's his job to be with the media team to get the media out. And the media team was approved for drone footage. And Mikey and Frank were inside the SUV with Charlie as they pulled up to the event. So it is very, very likely that Mikey on his phone was showing Charlie and Frank drone footage of the event. Got it.
Seeing that, because I think it was inspiring for people. So that was Mikey's job. And anyways, the fact that he never called her from an event was because there was no need to, Let's keep going here.
Yeah, because he never got murdered before.
This is another one I thought was interesting. She's saying that she's just not going to ever actually look at the video herself. Let's do 377.
There's certain things you see in your life that mark your soul forever. I don't want my husband's public assassination to be something I ever see.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want my kids to ever see that. And for people who actually enjoy watching that, which is quite literally sick, what if that was your father or your brother or your sister?
I would want to know.
There's a perspective shift there. We're human. Life is fragile.
I would want to know.
And there is so much beauty in this world. Why would you waste any portion of your life looking at something so evil?
Oh my gosh, this
and
chick.
One last,
so that you could know for a fact what happened to him, right? Like, are you not aware of what happened at Butler, and like what Charlie felt about Butler, and what about JFK and MLK and Teddy? You don't want to know for a fact. The Zapruder film didn't come out for, what was it, months or years? I think it was years until it finally came out. To know what happened to Charlie. What they're saying, does it match up with what I see? Yep. As painful and as hard as it would be, and we know she's not above seeing Charlie in a difficult light, because the doctor, when she goes there to the hospital, the doctor's like, you don't want to go in there. You don't want to go in there. The bullet ravaged his neck. You don't want to see him like this. You don't want to do it. And she's like, get out of the way. I want to see what they did to him, to my husband, to my daddy. I don't know about you, but that's going to be much harder to wipe out of my memory than a video. I don't know. Plus, I don't, she's not a forensic pathologist. She's not a doctor. I don't know what insight, information she could glean from seeing him on the side of that cold table in his body like that. But watching the video, you'd have firsthand knowledge as to, like, does it look like it's a 30-06? Wait, what's up with this necklace in his shirt? Why does it look like he's kind of getting electrocuted, or that's a deep brain injury, maybe a spinal cord injury? Why is there no exit wound? What's the official story? It's a 30 caliber round from a 30-06. Is that normal? Nope, it's not. That's the only way that she'd be able to know that, is to watch it. I don't want to watch it. No, I've told my entire team, don't let me watch it. Don't let anyone send it to me and show it to me. Her lack of curiosity into any other possible scenario that day is weird. Candace's response is much more in keeping with someone that loved Charlie Kirk. All of our response is much more in line with someone that like loved Charlie. We're like, I want to find out. I need answers. This doesn't look right. I'm not accepting that answer. These are the guys that lied to us about everything. Why are we believing him? We don't believe these people. They haven't restored the trust that they broke. And yet she's like, nope. Yep. I've seen the evidence. Yep. The prosecution. Yep. FBI did a great job. Yep. We're all good here. Yep. I forgive him. Come on.
Last one, because I really wish we could play all of these, but I really like this one. Let's play 379.
Charlie have forgiven his killer?
He's in heaven.
Oh my gosh, bro. Oh my gosh. I don't know what to do. That like literally gave me chills. What? Come on. I'm not the only one with this physiological response, right? Did you feel it too? When she saw that and she goes, he's in heaven. Yeah. Yeah. All right, cool. It's not just me, at least. Thank goodness.
And he sees everything, full picture.
In Technicolor?
And I truly believe that if the Lord, which this does not happen, but if the Lord gave him an option.
Oh, here we go.
To return back to earth. And if the Lord said, this is what your death is going to be the catalyst for.
Oh, so gross.
Do you want to go back?
Look at her
and
eyes.
Exchange it? He'd say no.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. He'd say no.
Oh my gosh, bro. He'd say no. It's all performative. She's like whispering and she's doing these things like, he'd say no. Freaking Jesse Waters. Is that guy a robot? And he goes, wow. What is wrong with these people? They have no heart. They have no soul. They have no brain. These are the people that get chosen to tell us things. What? Oh my gosh, bro. I forgot how bad this was. This was so bad.
You know, it's interesting. In the days after it happened, I had like 3 different people tell me that they had sort of like almost a vision or a picture in their mind of that exactly what she was describing.
Wait. Multiple people reached out to Andrew after Charlie's assassination, and they said they had a vision of what Erica was describing. And what Erica was describing is that she believes that if God came to Charlie and said, hey, if I can let you go back, or if you know what was the catalyst, you know, your assassination was the catalyst for this revival that they continue to shove down our throats, and that his death was with so many people coming to Christ, supposedly. Yeah. Also, I mean, his death also was the catalyst that opened our eyes to what was already happening, which was the division in the Republican Party, which he would have been, he loved. He was a coalition builder, right? But above all else, they want you to believe that he would say, nah, I don't want to raise my kids. I don't want to be there for my daughter and my son who are 3.5 and 1.5. I don't like life that much. I don't want to be there and grow old with my wife, my soulmate, my best friend. No, yes, use my death. He would say, no, get out of here. These people are the worst. Erica wanted to make sure Charlie was really dead. That's why she had to see him. That's an interesting take. That's an interesting take. She had to make sure the job was done. Maybe, I don't know. She had to report back to somebody because Bibi couldn't be there. Trump and JD Vance couldn't be there. Brian Harple and them, they weren't allowed in the room once the doctors started doing what they were doing. So the only one that could actually confirm, even though Frank said that the doctor ran out and with the softness of a brick was like, he's dead. He just broke HIPAA for everybody, just telling everybody's the news. I don't believe that story. But the only way that anyone outside of that room could get confirmation that Charlie actually is dead is through Erica. So that means then Erica told people who told people, and then they all released the news to their respective people and outlets. I wonder, how did Bibi find out as soon as he did? Victor Marks, probably. James Kaddis.
More of Erica Kirk's amazing exclusive interview last night. And we'll talk about Auburn University as well. We'll be right back. We're going to keep playing these clips from her first exclusive interview with Jesse Waters. I thought it was tremendous, a triumph. My congratulations to the entire team that was involved and to, of course, Erica, who comported herself so bravely and gracefully.
Oh my
Let's keep playing the clips here, Blake.
Yeah, so let's do
anything but
hit is
anything but those things. I don't.
Riley pointed this out
that way.
A lot of people have sent us stuff. They've sent us things into the office, into the studio, and I think they might wonder how that's gone. And so Erica actually showed Jesse what we've been doing with that.
Yeah.
So let's play 363.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Everyone's sending all of this here?
They received tens of thousands of letters, cards, gifts, personal Bibles, paintings, and more.
A lot of this is from when people came to the campus, the Turning Point USA offices, and left it outside the gates. Also, a lot has been mailed. I mean, it's just unbelievably humbling. But this is all mail. I told them not to throw anything away. I want every single card saved for my kids. And for when, if the day gets hard at your desk, you come into this mailroom, and I want you to come in, and I want you to pick up any of these cards, and I want you to read it so you can put into perspective why you work here.
That's manipulation. That's not appropriate for the new CEO to instruct her employees if they're having a hard time with working in the wake of Charlie's death. Maybe the correct response would have, maybe you need to go talk to human resources, maybe your direct manager, maybe you need to take a leave of absence, take some time off, maybe you need to go home and be with family, maybe they need to process this, maybe being shoved every day in the face that Charlie's dead and all of this is so sad immediately, and everyone that worked for him and with him and knew him. No. Go read a letter. Go look at all the stuff they've sent in, and then you'll reevaluate what we're doing here, and you'll get your butt back to work. Okay? Go put in those 20-hour days, okay? Those 60-hour weeks, no sleep, no food. We got a big Super Bowl to do. Come on. Go read a letter. Get some perspective. Get back to work. That's great advice. That's a good leader there. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I need to stop in there.
I haven't actually gone in.
Yeah, I haven't gone in yet. I know it is there. I should go by later today.
That's weird.
We have one more thing that we want to flag. Jesse asked, do you think they have the right guy who did this? Let's do 385.
Yeah.
You think they've caught your husband's killer?
We have one of the most incredible teams for this case. I would never wish it upon anybody to have to go through what we are going through. To have seen the autopsy report, to have seen the different evidence portions that have been collected.
Whoa.
I trust our team.
Who's we? Who's our team? The state of Utah? The Utah County's Attorney's Office? Immediately, narrative control. Immediately, we got to convince the public about the lone gunman. We have to, from the top down. And like, they didn't have to play that clip. Andrew and Blake didn't have to play that clip. That clip could have stayed on its own on Jesse and Fox News. They chose, no, we got to get it to our community as well in case they didn't see it. We got to push it like, yeah, Erica believes Tyler Robinson's the lone gunman and we got the right guy. I've seen the autopsy reports, and watch her struggle over talking about the evidence. She's like, ooh, how do I phrase this? This is going to, and then she just says it anyways. I've seen the evidence that's been compiled, and we just have a tremendous team. The FBI? Are we still talking about Jeffy Epi? What files? There is no files. What are you talking about? Your lawyer isn't part of the prosecution team, Erica. Dishonest. Jeez.
Yeah, and I will just say that,
please.
I'm not next of kin. You can't comment on everything either, Blake.
Mm-hmm. Only if they would have stuck with that. Blake is not supposed to comment on anything because he was a witness there, and the gag order extends to him. Doesn't look like they kept that in mind at all after this.
And I think that leaves a vacuum. And there's bad actors. And frankly, there's good actors too that really care about Charlie and getting justice for Charlie, that have come into that space and are inserting, I think, doubt or questions.
He's talking about Candace Owens right now. And right now he says that she's a good actor at this point. That's interesting. He's talking about Candace Owens, 100%. That's who he's talking about.
It's good faith questions. A lot of it's bad faith questions. But I will just tell you, the team is like, this is a rock solid case.
The team.
They have a ton of evidence. And,
wow.
I noticed our friend Jack is even circulating on social media, Jack Posobiec, the affidavit that, even shows that the parents turned him in.
Here we go.
Confessed to them, and
it started immediately. Gosh, these guys, dude.
And it was, apparently this young guy was potentially about to commit suicide, so the family tried to intervene and make him turn himself in.
Nope, total lie.
So, I mean, all of I know that there's a lot of noise out there. I know there's a lot of noise. Blake, would you say?
Because of you guys. You're creating the noise.
Say there's a lot of noise.
There's a lot of noise.
There's a lot of noise. And on one level, it's like, I don't.
And a lot of stuff that's also just inaccurate. I mean, she mentioned she's getting the call. And then I saw that online and all these people saying, oh, wasn't she there when it happened? And they're changing their stories. No, the story has never been that she was there.
I think
people have told a false story.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of people just assumed that she was there.
Yeah.
Or it just became kind of
it was very common for people to say.
Andrew Wilson said she was there and that Gigi was there. Andrew Wilson said that. So did a lot of people. And how come you're just now in November addressing that issue? How come you didn't address that back in September and clear the air? You wanted people to believe that Erica and Gigi were there because it maximizes the emotional asset of Erica Kirk, the grief. People would be moved to donate, to support, to get involved. Don't let a good crisis go to waste, Mr. PR guy.
Like he was shot to death in front of his children. I think there were even AI videos where they run up.
That's not true.
Weird stuff. But no, like that has never been the story.
She was planning on going.
Oh.
And then Charlie told her, stay home with your mom because her mom had doctor's appointments that day and take care of the kids. You need to be home for your mom and for the kids. So she was like, okay, I'll stay. And I'm really grateful that she wasn't there. I'm grateful I wasn't there. And my heart is like with the team that was there. And anyways, I know there's a vacuum, but let me just assure the audience, I don't know if my words mean anything when people are out there, stirring so much chaos about this, but the case is very good, and there will come a time this whole trial is going to play out. And we should play that clip, by the way, about cameras in the courtroom, because I thought Erica's point was so well made. It's like Charlie's assassination was everywhere. I mean, I can only imagine billions and billions of views, right? He didn't get a say in that. And so how dare anybody, suggest that there shouldn't be cameras in the courtroom? Like, let the world see. Let the world see. And with all the intrigue, and again, I say this, I know there's a lot of good faith people that just want to get justice for Charlie. Well, so we have nothing to hide. There's nothing to hide in this case. Let the cameras see. Let them in. Let them see. And I think it's an important piece. And I want to play that tape on the other side of this break because I thought she said it so well. It's like there has been cameras watching her every tear, her every smile, her every action.
She chose that, Andrew. That was her choice. No one forced her to do any of these public events. No one forced her to go on the book tour, to get in front of the cameras, to get on stage. Charlie's parents didn't do it. John F. Kennedy's wife didn't do that. She took over as CEO. She became a very public figure with a lot of money and a big organization with a lot of control and impact and influence. She didn't have to do that. She could have stayed home and just raised the kids. In fact, like that's been what a lot of us have asked for her to do. And that's what a lot of us expected her to do. And it's what we hope that she still has a chance to make that decision and to do that.
In the wake of this, for something she didn't even, she's the innocent victim here. And so I thought she said it beautifully. So good for her. I want to bring in our first guest of the day, Kurt Schlichter. Kurt, you're a senior columnist at Town Hall. You have a new piece out, actually, that we're going to get to in just a second.
In the courtroom. How do you feel about that?
There were cameras all over my husband when he was murdered.
Look at her eyes.
There have been cameras all over my friends and family mourning. There have been cameras all over me, analyzing my every move, analyzing my every smile.
Go home.
My every tear.
Go home.
We deserve to have cameras in there. Why not be transparent? There's nothing to hide. I know there's not, because I've seen what the case is built on.
She's seen it all.
Let everyone see what true evil is.
True evil.
This is something that could impact a generation and generations to come.
Unbelievable. What?
Kurt, you're a lawyer.
No, we don't want to hear Kurt's take on it. All right, let's go to the next clip that you guys are going to share. I forgot how bad this was. I don't know who that is. I'm not going to play that. Oh, it's the Trumps.
The most beautiful crowd of people, thousands of people at Auburn University. They are incredibly enthusiastic, and they absolutely adore this country. They adore God, and they adore you.
Well, I want to just say hello to everybody. I hope Eric is doing a good job and Laura's doing a good job. But I just want to pay my respects to Charlie and Erica. These are two incredible people. And Eric, I've spoken to her often. She's just a spectacular person. And she's going to start where Charlie left off, and we love Charlie's looking down on us right now, all of us. And Erica, you're there someplace, and you just take care of yourself. We're with you all the way, and we're with the great people that my son and Laura are speaking to.
And what about the ballroom? How about that ballroom? Ballroom. Don't forget about the ballroom. Where's that other clip? Here it is.
I have to say, one of the most tremendous things I've ever seen. Play cut 251.
Do you feel safe?
What are they going to threaten me with? Going to heaven sooner to be with my husband? And I don't say that to be reckless. I do not. I do not say that because I'm out in the streets. Like, here I am, come find me. And that's not at all. It's
you are out in the streets.
It's a fearlessness that's rooted in the understanding that I will have my day and my time, whenever that is.
Oh,
when the Lord knows
so
that
bad.
I've completed my mission. And I'm not afraid. Charlie wasn't afraid either. We never lived in fear. If we did, we wouldn't get anything done.
Amen. Kurt, you've got a new piece out in Town Hall that is it's in perfect Kurt Schlichter fashion. It says
Oh my gosh, this guy drives me nuts. Hold on, is that it? All right, you guys. Let me read. Thank you so much for the gift. And thank you so much for the super chat. Was it ever proven that she was at a clinic with her dying mom that faithful day on 9/10? I can't stand these two clowns. No, it was never proven. Oh, I shouldn't have picked that piece of my skin off. No, it was never proven. No, we don't know. We don't know where she was. No clue. Let's see. I think that's it, you guys. Yeah, I don't have anything else. If anyone has another one that they want to get in before we end, please do so. And if you guys haven't done so already, please do me a favor and hit the like and hit the subscribe. And after the video is done, you can write a comment. If you could, write a comment, throw an emoji, and hype the video for free. It's the best way to help support the channel. I think other than that, it looks like tomorrow, I'll wait for the confirmation. Okay, but for sure we're going to have shows tomorrow, okay? And then stay tuned for what they are and the time that they will be. Other than that, I love you guys. God bless you guys. Have a great night. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.